Welcome to the Lockdown Economy, a social non-profit initiative by the think tank AlterContacts to help small businesses and self-employed professionals overcome the challenges of the pandemic and reactivate the economy. My name is Karen Rickes, and today our guest is Yvette Eersel, a trainer and coach at the Intensive Training Academy in the Netherlands. Hello, Yvette. How are you today?
Hi, Karen. How are you? Thank you for inviting me.
Well, we're so glad to have you here. I'm good as well. Really looking forward to our conversation. Yvette, this is actually your second interview with Lockdown Economy already. For those of our viewers who are new to Lockdown Economy, could you tell us a bit more about your business, please?
Well, I have actually three businesses, but the one we'll talk about today is the Intensive Training Academy. It's an online academy where we help people coming from a difficult situation, helping them through that and becoming free. We call it the Break Free and Breakthrough Training.
That's really interesting. What's that training all about?
Well, we have three subjects. One is about overcoming fear, the other one is overcoming poverty, and the other one is overcoming drug abuse or any kind of addiction. And I myself am a former drug addict. I was many years ago, like maybe 30 or 40 years ago, I was caught up in drugs. And my life went from really living a normal teenage life to somebody who was living on the streets. So it was very devastating for me. And I felt that myself, I couldn't get out, not with the people around me, nor with the social possibilities for me. And so I was being abused for many, many years. I got out of it, hallelujah. And so I started a rehabilitation home in the Netherlands, which I had for many years, and I helped hundreds and hundreds of people. But my heart is to help even more people, and then I would like to do that online.
That sounds really good. Thank you, Yvette, for sharing your story with us. I
Thank
think
you.
it's really, yeah, admirable that you took what you personally went through and kind of turned it into that entrepreneurial drive to help others as well. So you now mentioned already, of course, that you're now doing all of your help online. So let's maybe continue a bit on that. How has the pandemic affected your business since we last spoke?
Well, before that, I had to meet people face to face, go to their homes, or they come to the office or any other place. But then when the pandemic started, you have to change your mind and your business. And very soon, I already was busy transforming the business to an online business because there are people in need and you want to help them and they need you. So I transformed it to an online training center calling uh, Intensive Training Academy. Sorry. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you sort of took it upon you to really, yeah, flexibly react to whatever the
Yes.
pandemic has thrown your way, so to say. So could you tell us a bit more about how you managed that transition to the online environment, how you switched your business model?
Well, first of all, I started also an online web shop because the shops were closed. So what do? As an entrepreneur, you start thinking out of the box. And I started a web shop called Gorgeous Boss, and which is selling clothing, and the other one is an e-mobility shop. So you try to grow in these times. That's what I'm saying. Like you can be like being depressed, or you could be fearful, or you could be not going anywhere. You will freeze, you will run, or you fight. So I did the last one. I fought it, and I found other ways to be an entrepreneur. That's one side of it. The other side is my intensive training academy, which is directly helping people who are at home or wherever they are, and they are in need of help. Some of them, I have a training now, it's called Breaking Free from Fear. Especially in this time, people are afraid. I mean, the government is giving us a lot of fear every day, about how you could die. But there's also another ways that you could live, and it's also about the mindset, helping people not to come under the spirit of fear and being afraid to step out of the house, watching TV all day, being informed with all these negative stuffs. That will not help you. So at a certain point, you need to make a decision like, it may be like that and it's not nice, but I cannot limit myself to that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something probably a lot of us out there can relate to. That sort of, maybe petrifying feeling, even the uncertainty that's so overwhelming of the situation at the moment. So that's really good to hear that there's offers like yours out there that can help people with that fear, with that uncertainty.
Overcoming the fear.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, sort of speaking of that, speaking of everyone who might want to take you up on your offer, how did your clients or your customers respond to that sort of switch to the online environment? What did you notice in their behavior?
Well, I also see that that I need to reach new clients because the other clients were used to me directly. But me myself had to grow through speaking people through Zoom or WhatsApp video or any kind of tool. There are different tools, and because I'm very much a person of reading people's body or the nuances in a conversation or feeling what the person has to say. Sometimes a person can say one thing, but you sense another thing. And that is only when you are close to the person, like in one room, So when you are online, it's a different kind of reading and a different kind of meeting. But I still believe that emotions can also be challenged through Zoom or through television. Otherwise, watching a movie would be boring. Amen.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
I can send emotions, and so I learned also just to talk and meet people on that level.
Yeah, that's really, really interesting. Now that you mention it, of course, because me personally, I think I've always kind of, especially in the beginning, thought, okay, this is really going to be very different, more of a distance between partners in a conversation. But yeah, of course, it is indeed possible with just a little bit of training to make it work. So what kind of maybe trainings did you take on yourself to really develop those skills in the online setting?
Well, there's one person in one of the trainings that she's a lady and she talks about how you communicate to another. She's a very developed actress, I think. And so, when we see something on movies, like a silent movie, you can read what is said, And also it's a way of learning how to look at people, how they mimic or how they sigh or all that kind of things. I think you can learn that and be real on Zoom, wanted to reach the other person in their hurt or pain or joy or whatever. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, really interesting. So yeah, then over the last couple of months, you then kind of helped yourself so you could really help others as well in your communication.
Yeah, well, the most important thing I did the last year is developing myself. It is such a great opportunity to invest in yourself. And I trained myself every day, every evening, every afternoon to be a better me and also a better businesswoman and a better entrepreneur, and also using the online tools that will benefit me and my business. There is so much on the internet that you can learn you can pay for it, of course. You can have a coach like me. You can have a trainer like me. And I did that. But there's also some free stuff that's very good that can help you, just to start. And maybe later you need the training or the coach to really go deep into the material. But this time of age is very special, and I just wanted to share that because it's an internet age. It's different, and we need to change to that level. Otherwise, we're gonna miss it. I know still a lot of people that don't want to go on internet, and if they go, they only look at movies. They only look at music. But there's so much to learn, so much material for you to grow, and it's free. I don't say everything is free because that's not possible, and some things you should pay for it. But I think that's a gift in this time and age.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a really important point to raise. Small reminder to everyone out there that, yeah, for example, on YouTube, of course, there's a lot of free information available to everyone.
Really, it is.
Yeah,
yes,
definitely. Well, you mentioned it as well that you've grown not just personally, but also as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur. So to kind of continue on that a bit, let's talk a bit more about your business. What did you do in that, past year of crisis mode to really stay visible as a business, to, maybe reach out to those new clients that you mentioned before?
Well, I come actually from a business that is very traditional. Like I had an office, I had an assistant, a secretary, we have the financial department, we had the clients, we had the living space where the clients were living in my rehabilitation center. It was very one-to-one and very traditional. So when you have to change from that to an online business, it takes a lot of you. You have to you have to learn to let go and go small, because the only thing you actually need is your laptop and internet. That's it. That's three of my businesses. They are online, and one thing is a problem when you have businesses like that. You always need internet, and you have to be careful that you are not scammed, or people are ruining your business, But I would like to see that are more people who are being focused on protecting your internet business from government, but also from criminals and from internet failure. I haven't seen an insurance yet about internet failure. Do you get what I mean? You don't get.
I think I do. I do get what you mean. I mean, there's.
Well, if your business is online and there happens something to internet, you lose client. And I haven't seen an insurance for that. That would be a good idea for insurance people. But I felt that that you could be as effective, and even I think more, because you are able to reach everybody, because it is a world wide web.
Indeed.
Yes.
And now to kind of really, reflect on that past year, everything you've done in terms of training and really building 3 businesses in this time. Looking back on all of that, what would you say, sort of was your biggest learning in managing this crisis as an entrepreneur?
Well, what I've learned from myself is that I'm actually a creative director, CEO. It's like I'm the visionary person. And I like to be creative. I like to make my website, and I like to make pictures, and I like to develop things. I'm a business developer. And when a business is established for 3 years and I'm still doing the same thing after 3 years, I get bored. And that's why I always need a manager to manage the things I've built, you know?
Yeah.
And that's something I've learned again, that, you know, this is who I am. And if something doesn't go as fast as I want, then I can let it go too easy. And that's something also what I've learned. Like I've invested 100 hours in like building a web shop. And after 3 months when nothing happens there, I go like, I think that was a mistake. But when look at it later, I said, well, that's a huge thing what you may build up there. You know, you could have wait, you know, put some water, you know, do some work at the ground, you know, let it grow. And that's something I really need to learn.
Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah,
To really, yeah, sort of stick with what you've started, even if the beginning might be a little rough. It's
yeah,
probably also something very important to keep in mind these days.
yeah.
Well, and
I
then
have
as
to
a
be my most the most important thing that I learn is that I need to be patient and I have to let it come to me
no,
in its
really good,
time. Hmm.
for sure, for sure. Well, Yvette, as a sort of last question for today to kind of round off the interview, what are 3 things that sort of looking at the next couple of months that you could use help with?
That I could, well, more exposure, that would be
Mhm.
great. And I like to work in platforms with others because I think I can benefit what they have, because, you know, I have this specific area where, you know, where it's my role to serve. And I would like to have to work to network a little bit more. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. We'll make sure to get your message out there. And thank you
Yeah.
to everyone who joined us here today. Yvette, do you have any last words to our viewers out there?
Well, thank you first of all. The worst that I have is never give up. Never give up. Even if you don't feel like it, don't give up. Hold on to what you have. But what is most important is develop yourself, develop your skills, learn more, dig in deeper, ask people. You know, that's what I say. Just grow, keep on growing in this new area, because the old has passed away. This is new. Here is where we need to learn everything on the internet. And so just do it. It's there. It's free. Just do it. Take it.
Excellent, really good. I think that's a very positive, very optimistic, encouraging note to end on. So thank you, Yvette, for that. Feel free to contact Yvette using any of the links in the description of this video below. I invite you to like this video and subscribe to our channel. On our channel, you can find many more insights from entrepreneurs in many different countries and business sectors. So please have a look and stay tuned.